Hey. Welcome back to the room.
There we go.
Unfiltered and intentional. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, we do these pre-recording shows just to kind of touch base with you before we go live on Sunday. Definitely Ty is in some type of winter storm. I don't know about it because you already know a lot of times in Florida we don't get that wind and hurricane and weather. Well, hurricane, but not on winter storms. So be safe, the Ty. Be safe. With that being said, Specs.
Hey everybody. So we need you to subscribe. YouTube, subscribe. Hit that little bell at the bottom. So when something comes out, you get it like real direct. So you don't have to wait. It's right there. Subscribe, like, share. Subscribe, like, share. YouTube family, we love you. We love you. We love you. Please subscribe, like, share. And let's go.
All right. Thank you so much. Once again, just to repeat what he says, please like, subscribe, and share to our show. With that being said, I'm just going to put a little bit of emphasis on Liz right now. Yeah.
That's unexpected.
Yes. Because a lot of people have hit me up about your shirts and very interested in where they can get these classy slogans. So if you could drop some dimes real quick and give us some info where they can get that information from.
All right. So thanks for the shout out. It was unexpected, but mostly appreciated, of course. I launched my website today. So I know I had dropped I was going with Etsy and I needed to figure some things out. But the first 10 or so designs are up. If you go to grownhonestconcepts.com, so grown, GROWN, honest, HONEST, concepts, CONCEPTS, all one word, of course, .com. It'll all pop up there. Everything is customizable for now. So if there's any modifications you want to make or anything, while I'm still small time, hit me up.
Yes.
And definitely that's gonna be popping. So that's real short. You being small time, you got to make it big.
Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate you.
And not even that. Definitely we'll have that website and that link out, especially for our live show, so it can scroll across so everybody can get that information. Try to do it in slow motion. Especially Mother's Day is coming up, and what other we got? Mother's Day, Father's Day. We got all the different holidays.
I'm probably gonna put something out for Memorial Day.
Exactly.
I got some tricks up my sleeve.
Exactly. So we already know how we want those different shirts and get them customized. So thank you once again for definitely supporting the community and everything. So much to come with that. I wanted to talk just briefly about Derek Chauvin. I hate to say his name. He is a murderer.
Right.
He killed George Floyd. He kneeled on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Which is horrendous, with people pleading, with people saying, hey, with so many opportunities to help, and he just didn't. And we were sitting on the edge of our seats, trying to find out how we felt. Is it going to be something like we're like, yes, we finally got justice? But before we get into all that, I just want to ask everybody, of course, we're happy for the verdict. But at that very moment, when you found out that he was charged with all 3 counts, how did you feel, Liz? How did you feel, Specs?
All right, I'll jump in.
Yeah.
So, honestly, first of all, that they said 4:30, and at 4:30, you sitting here like, is my screen frozen? You're refreshing. I know I wasn't the only one. My heartbeat was like pounding. I'm looking at other people like, is your computer working? I was completely freaking out. Even before they read it, I did feel a beyond strong sense of solidarity. I mean, I was at work. I know a lot of people were at work. It came down in the middle of the afternoon, and I happened to need to go to the photocopier right at about 4:35, right? And I walked down the hallway because I have to kind of go through the building to get to the copier from where I work. And as you walk down the hallway, everybody was glued to their screens. We were all working, but every single person was absolutely, it was their phones, it was their screens, it was everything. And we didn't have to ask. Everybody just knew that we were all locked in. And when I tell you, it felt like a collective sigh of relief. Where we were, we couldn't do the whole yes and everything else that they got to experience and feel in the street. But in that office building, when I tell you, you could see the relief melt off of the oldest person, the youngest person, and everybody in between. The most solidarity I've gotten probably since the day Barack Obama was first elected. So, which is epic for anybody that remembers that day. So, yeah.
So, Specs, how did you feel when you seen guilty?
The sad thing was I didn't believe it. I expected him to get off or a lesser charge or because I would say, well, not whole life. I'm 48, so let's say 46. Up to that point, I knew my life as a Black man didn't matter in America. I knew that. Like, there's something you have to accept in life. So I did. So I remember when this whole happened, and I remember seeing crowds of people that didn't look like me in the fight. I cried watching TV one time, watching the news, because I was like, oh my God, like I never felt like I mattered. Like, I know I matter in my community, but other than that, no. And I knew that. So to see that was amazing. And to see this, I still expected him to get off. I know we saw murder. We saw lynching up close. I still expect him to get off. So I was happily amazed. So that's where I was. And it was wild. It's wild to see, like we were talking earlier, like the OJ verdict. When that happened, you saw Black people on one side, you saw white people on the other side, like, I can't stand it. I can't stand y'all. And Black people like, yeah, we won. But this was all like everybody. This is all like everybody was cheering for the same team, and it's all new to me. So I'm sitting back looking like, really? Wow. Okay. So I was happily amazed. I didn't believe it, but I was happily amazed.
It's interesting. For myself, I can say that I didn't want to hold my breath and say, oh yeah, he would be found, guilty, but I was hoping for him to be, crossing my fingers so he be found, like, please find guilty, With that being said, it was definitely, I was excited when I heard the 3 counts. I was like, yes, but it was so unfortunate that we were in the situation where we're like on the edge. He committed a murder. He committed a crime. How many people commit crimes and murders and we're not on the edge of those seats? He did it. Point blank in the discussion. But this one is like, oh, please, like kind of like if you have a winning lotto ticket. You know how sometimes the Powerball will go up to like 700 million and you got that ticket in your head like, oh, please, I swear I did. I got my rosaries. I played, I lit the candles. That's how we were. Because we don't get wins. African Americans do not get wins in the United States of America. So when we win, when there's a Barack Obama, and I understand, now here's the kicker, and that's a whole nother podcast,
It sure is. I know where you're going.
Yeah, because people have different situations and how they feel about Barack Obama. But with that being said, the image, if we was just looking at it, how many times has somebody said, you could do anything in life, but you cannot be president? And I understand he's biracial, but he's the same complexion as Specs. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Somebody that's the same. Actually, we're kind of around the same complexion.
We are.
I know. But we all blending.
Yeah, but with that being said, I mean, wow. We literally have somebody that looks like us there when they said it was impossible. No matter what you feel about the vice president right now, we literally have some. It was amazing. My daughter said to me, she loves dancing, ballet and stuff. My little one, and they're having this commercial about Misty Copeland and this Black ballerina as the principal. And she's listening and she's like, Mommy, I could be a pretty brown ballerina. And I'm like, yes, you can. But it's crazy that we're in these situations in 2021. We're like, yeah, wow, we're winning. You know, we got one for the team. The unfortunate thing is for every win, we lose. My job did like a little forum, which I commend the job for just wanting to voice an opinion, because so many corporations don't do that. You go about your daily business, you keep it in inwardly. But my job did a little forum about how people felt. And there were some mixed topics on how people felt about it. And we were going to respect everybody's feelings. But when I had to say something, when I had my share opportunity to talk, I had to put out there, it has to be more. Thank God for that young lady that put that social media feed out there. As much as we were like, oh, these kids and that social media, and I can't stand it, and get off the cell phone. Wow. Thank you for doing that. Right. You have changed the world.
Yes.
Literally, there were protests in other countries. Black Lives Matter, this and this. And once again, we're not talking about what you really feel about Black Lives Matter and what's really going on over here and what's this. We're talking about that image. So I was definitely very happy.
Yeah, video definitely changes the whole landscape of everything. Think of it like the NFL. So you got Ray Rice, right?
Yeah.
He is not the first NFL player to smack a woman at all.
Mm-hmm.
But he got caught on video.
Yeah.
So, and it's been players since Ray Rice that have beat their wives or their girlfriends.
Yeah.
But he got caught on video.
Yeah.
So video is you can't talk your way out of it. We see it.
Yeah.
So we need more of that, just because we told our story for years. And people would tell us, well, it's not really that bad. It's not really that bad. It couldn't be that bad because you're still here. Yeah. And we're like, what? Okay. So this video, because if it wasn't for a video, he wouldn't have got convicted. He probably would have got a bonus.
Yeah.
So so the video changed that. So we need more of that. So even though we lose some privacy, we get some ownership.
Well, especially when you talk about the African American community, I mean, and I was saying this during that little conversation I had, when the civil rights movement began, or right before it began, Martin Luther King would say, hey, we're going to take kids to these marches. And they're like, what you taking these kids to the marches for? You know why? Because we want America, we want the world to see what these angry mobs are doing to us. They may not be as sympathetic. We see a Black man or a Black woman kneeling and not, engaging in violence, but let them see the kids. The kids are going to be here too. We're going to all kneel. We're not going to fight. Now, once again, we can go into that, or some people say, well, we need to fight for our rights. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about the image of what it shows.
Right.
People are watching this video. So much uproar. White folks was calling, people from the clergy and churches and stuff. They calling like, wait a second, these white people are beating these kids and da 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 da.
Right.
Wait a second, it's putting a pressure on the president. Pressure was put on the president to say, oh, we need to pick up this phone and call Martin Luther. What do you want? Of course, he didn't like what was going on. This president was known to be cussing and calling people niggers and all types of stuff. Right. But he didn't want to do it. But it put pressure on that civil rights agenda. Let's talk about it. And of course, there's so many. Go ahead, Liz. Go ahead.
Just circling back around to how you said that, thank God for video. You both said, thank God for it. One thing that is the most dormant part of the whole George Floyd story. Have you guys ever read the statement the police put out on May 25th last year? Either of you? Yes.
Not to read the whole.
Read the statement. Let's revisit that, because I think that should be front page news.
Okay.
If I had a newspaper anywhere in the country yesterday, I would have put that on the front page in big letters for everybody to see what it looks like with no camera. The headline: Man dies after medical incident during police interaction. The description: on Monday evening, shortly after 8 p.m., officers from the Minneapolis Police Department responded to, and it gives the address. Officers were advised that the suspect was sitting on top of a blue car and appeared to be under the influence. 2 officers arrived and located the suspect. A male believed to be in his 40s, in his car. He was ordered to step from his car. As he got out, he physically resisted officers. Officers were able to get the suspect into handcuffs and noticed that he appeared to be suffering medical distress. Officers called for an ambulance. He was transported to Hennepin County Medical Center by ambulance, where he died a short time later. At no time were weapons of any type used by anyone involved in this incident. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension has been called to investigate this incident at the request of the Minneapolis Police Department. No officers were injured in the incident. So think about that. They're saying that he was in distress, resisted arrest, and died at the hospital. This is George Floyd they were talking about. He died at the hospital?
Yeah.
After they called for an ambulance because he was in medical distress? That's the story that they were going to run with?
Right.
Knowing those officers were wearing body cams. Think about that. Not so much that the public was recording, but that the officers had body cams on. They got there. He was on drugs. He was in medical distress.
The uncomfortable truth.
He died at the hospital.
The uncomfortable truth is, like I said when we started the conversation, we win one, and how many steps back do we take? Because they're gonna be like, wait now. And when I say that is because Eric Gardner was standing in front of a store and he was selling the Lucy's. Anyone who knows what Lucy's are, they're the single cigarettes, which is illegal to do. And he's like, hey, I don't want no problems, boss. I don't want no problems. And they're like, you're going to have to leave. He's like, no, I'm just here. I'm here. And even though he did not leave, of course, we know what happened. They did an illegal chokehold on him. He dies. With that being said, the person that filmed that incident, that put that man on national platform, he has been harassed by the police. He has been abused in the way of, he can't go certain places, all types of things where he's getting threats and phone calls and different scenarios. Let's talk about Michael Brown, the friend that filmed Michael Brown in the incident with his body there. You get chased off the road, all types of scenarios. We have to realize, once again, people, when we're winning, somebody's losing. If a person's winning, there's somebody on the other team that's losing. And I don't think some people like to lose.
Oh, so you guys should have tuned in to Fox News yesterday. They were on the losing side, and they were having a whole tantrum. You would, and it's funny because I just mentioned the solidarity that I felt until I got home. I thought for sure the whole country was. I thought we got this one. You guys know half the country watches that bullshit, right? And I'm sorry, but let's call it what it is. Those people were not pleased at all. At all. They had one a black dude on there saying that
God, it was terrible.
Like a black dude on there. Yeah.
Who was that coon? I mean, at the end of the day, once again, there's winners and there's losers. And when a person is losing in a war, they're going to find new strategies on what to do. I want to let you guys know real quick that this was going to be a short conversation. More to come. Definitely stay tuned. We love you guys. I just want to put out there and express how we feel about everything. And I know you were feeling it too.
Yeah.
Watch your 6, which means watch your back. But we love you guys, and we are happy for the 3 counts of being guilty.
Yes, finally, thank God.
Love you guys, and we'll see you on Sunday. Okay, guys.
Good night.
See ya.
Bye.